What's going on, everybody? This is Master Cloud, and I am back with another cast of The Lord of the Rings, The Rise of the Witch King. This is, of course, the expansion to the Battle for Middle-earth 2, and today's matchup is going to be an epic 1v1 on the map Ithilien. I believe I am pronouncing that correctly. It is a 1K random game, and I am going to be spawning as the elves in the upper left-hand side as Cloud, of course. And then my opponent down in the lower right-hand side is going to be Dani. And, of course, Dani has actually been featured on my channel before. I forget the exact matchup that he was in, but he has been featured before. I didn't actually remember it at the time, but upon uploading it, I did notice that I have actually casted him before. And he's going to be randomly spawning as men here. Now, just a little bit about this game here. We actually played a game before this game, immediately before this game started, and Dani actually completely destroyed me. It was the same setup, a random game, 1K, and basically he got dwarves and I got elves, and he absolutely stomped me with basically an early rush. I don't necessarily want to call it a rush, but it was definitely a very quick attack, and very convincingly just destroyed me. It wouldn't even be entertaining to watch, so I didn't even bother saving the replay. I did go ahead and save this one, though. We decided to play a rematch, and this map is going to be Ithilien. And immediately off the bat, you can see I'm going with the green pasture, and I'm hoping to do this basically to see if he goes for an early sort of rush attack again, and to use the green pasture here to counter, hopefully, that strategy. Now, if he goes for pikemen here, I will be completely destroyed and way behind in the infrastructure in terms of farms. However, it looks like my horsemen here are going to get a great early attack here and completely decimate this troop of Gondor soldiers, and immediately Dani is going to switch over to the Rohan spearmen, pumping out a group of those to deal with these horsemen. And for the most part right now, it does not look like my horsemen will be able to actually take out anything else. They might be able to get this builder here as he tries to pull it back, but no. The horsemen, I'm actually going to lose one or two there in the process of trying to take out that builder. So a little bit of a mistake, but my horsemen are going to make it out, for the most part, unharmed. Now, just a quick little bit about this map. Of course, there are a couple of doodads around the map. The Goblin Caves. There's actually a Troll Cave here set just across the river as well. A second Goblin Cave, and actually a third Goblin Cave up here on the right-hand side of the map, and then along the very top-hand side of the map, there is a fourth Goblin Cave. In addition to the Goblin Caves, we do have a couple of signal fires, one in the upper right-hand corner, and the other one in about the lower left-hand corner, just on the inside of the river here. Now, I would like to say, unfortunately, I casted this game. However, the audio settings were not set correctly, so I completely spent the entire game talking to myself without actually recording it. So I'm going to be casting this for some reason for the second time to bring this game to you guys. I really wanted to be able to bring this game to you guys, as I think it's a really exciting and interesting game to watch. Now, we do see Gollum over here hiding among the trees with, of course, the One Ring. But for now, he is going to remain stealth. Now, it looks like Dani's actually going to moving out here with a decent amount of troops here. My horsemen, of course, cannot engage because of those spearmen. And the Gondor troops here just stepping over Gollum, not really going to worrying about him at this early stage of the game, I suppose. And basically, I need to get out some additional troops to deal with this. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that Malorn tree so that it is so that it's closer to my fortress. So that if they want to engage it, they're going to have to take damage from my fortress. Now, I am going to get out a quick unit of archers here. Dani wisely running around the backside here, though not trying to stay away from that fortress, and is going to throw down his rally call here in order to have his men start to engage my barracks here. Now, if I lose my barracks, this will be a little bit of a pretty big deal, actually, seeing as I'll only have the green pasture remaining. I do have a set of archers here shooting around the backside, but I think there's just too many spearmen here. This might actually go down. I do have another set of archers about to come out, but there's so many units here. Even with the fortress's help, my units are going to squeeze out just in time, but I will go ahead and lose that barracks and immediately using my builder to throw down a secondary barracks, because I will have no additional troop other than no other unit production capabilities, of course, other than the the horsemen. Now, a unit of Gondor soldiers is going to show up here. However, they're going to take a lot of damage from my archers, getting a little bit too close there. Two more groups of units actually moving up around the right-hand side here, and Dani continuing to reinforce that with more Gondor soldiers on the way. Another group of Rivendell Lancers is going to be on the way, though. This should help me deal with some of the rampaging Gondor troops. This small group that was targeted by my archers is actually going to run over here and find a Malorn tree to begin taking down. That's going to be a great pickup for them if they can actually manage to take that down. My Rivendell Lancers are now on the field. Archers running around the backside to try and get a better angle on these troops here, and are going to begin to work those down. This Malorn tree is taking way too much damage, though, and the archers not able to get into position fast enough to deal the damage that they needed to deal, and I'm going to lose another Malorn tree. Dani continuing to put on a ton of pressure here. Rivendell Lancers will be able to take out another unit of Gondor soldiers. However, the Gondor soldiers on the left-hand side able to actually kill off that Malorn tree, so a great pickup there by Dani, and it looks for now like he's going to be mostly pulling back. He does have a couple of units scurrying around a bit. The ancient runes here providing a little bit of cover for these Gondor soldiers, but it's not going to last too long, as my Rivendell Lancers will finally make it through there and begin to engage the Gondor soldiers. Will be able to save that tree, I believe. This group of Gondor soldiers is going to be in way too close, and they're going to have to deal with way too many units, and with that, they will go ahead and be taken out. Dani did a nice job of sort of cleaning up a lot of my infrastructure. I do have a couple of Malorn trees around the backside. Has Dani actually had the chance to expand? He has tried to here, but my Rivendell Lancers is actually going to get a great pickup here, able to take out that builder, and should be able to destroy this farm. If Dani does not go ahead and cancel it, he will cancel it there to get that money back, or half of it back, rather. Now actually bringing out Boromir here, an interesting choice. I'd say a particularly wise one due to the amount of Rivendell Lancers on the field. Boromir, of course, as soon as he gets to that level 2, will be able to use the powerful Horn of Gondor ability, stunning any nearby units, and that can be incredibly effective against these horsemen, which are sometimes so hard to catch. Now, wisely, I am going to be sending my horsemen down here to take out that signal fire, which of course grants the improved regeneration rate for spells such as, heal, rally call, things like that. And Boromir actually going to be moving up here, engaging that troll. Now, I did manage to see this with my horsemen, I believe, so I should be sending my units down here temporarily. I do have my my barracks up finally now. Do have a group of Lorien warriors out to deal with some of the spearmen, a couple groups of archers, and as well as a couple groups of Rivendell Lancers. I believe I'm saving up here for a hero. I would expect to see Glorfindel on the field now to deal with Boromir, hopefully. And my troops sort of gathering up here. Actually, these horsemen are going to spot the amount of troops over here as they run around looking for additional farms that may have been built a little bit too far away from the fortress. Dani playing it smart, building his farms as close to his fortress as possible. At the same time, though, he is going to be losing out on a lot of resources if he cannot utilize the rest of the map. But I have such great map control with the amount of Rivendell Lancers I have on the field right now. Dani is going to pick up a couple of pick up that treasure from the troll lair. But my troops are now going to be engaging him as he tries to escape. Rally call goes down. That's going to give my units a lot of extra firepower. Boromir, up to level 4, could use that horn ability. Is being attacked by these horsemen way too fast, though. Needs to throw down a heal or the horn, but I don't think he's going to get it off in time. No, he does not. And with that, I'm going to throw down the heal on my troops. And actually, Dani pops off the heal there, too. But it looks like his heal was just a moment too late, as Boromir was already dead. So unfortunately for Dani, they're wasting that heal. And with that, my troops are going to take the battle quite convincingly. Glorfindel, in the meanwhile, is now out, but he's going to be standing on the back side here, sort of overseeing the battle, not quite engaging in it yet. This is a little bit of a mistake. There he comes along finally. And now that I have the army advantage, I am going to try and press forward to deal as much damage as possible while Dani attempts to rebuild his forces. Going to have to destroy that mine there. And with that, it looks like my troops are going to fall back, as they do not want to be taking that unnecessary damage from the fortress, as it might just be a little too difficult to get in here. A couple units of horsemen going to be running in here, but with that fortress, yeah, they're going to have to fall back. No way they're going to be able to take that out in time. Dani now trying to expand to the right-hand side. I'm not sure I agree with this position for the mine, as it really won't be very effective at producing farm being so close to additional farms here. And we'll see this one is plus 18. This one looks like maybe plus 12. And this is only going to be plus 5, so a very a weak farm here. And not even sure if he would ever, or it would take an incredibly long time to make that money back. So I sort of disagree with his choice there to go ahead and build that so close. But at this point, what choice does he have? Glorfindel now mounted is going to be moving into battle here. However, there's a lot of pikemen here, archers and Boromir's horn. Boromir throws down his horn as he is now back on the field. It's going to catch a majority of my troops, and I'm going to be forced to engage here. But with my troops stunned, they're going to get off a lot of early hits. Boromir goes up to level 5. That's going to grant his troops the leadership ability, making his troops much stronger than mine. Glorfindel runs into so many pikemen that he's going to have to fall back. And with Glorfindel retreating, I don't think my troops can stand here and fight this amount of units alone, especially with the leadership bonus. So I'm going to have to fall back here. I do have a couple of pikemen out now as well to an attempt to deal with Boromir. But at this point, with the leadership bonus, it's just going to be a little too much for me, and I'm going to fall back and regroup here as Glorfindel attempts to lick his wounds after that battle. Taking way too much damage there from the pikemen. Now, I do have a secondary barracks built, as well as an upgraded elven barracks. And that will give me the ability to build, to train some Mirkwood archers, as they will be on the field here shortly, I believe. And that will, of course, help me deal with Boromir from a longer range, and some more of the troops from a longer range with some high damage dealing potential. Wisely, Dani moving around the map, securing any additional gold that he can. I'm going to be doing the same with these horsemen moving down here to this goblin lair. Should actually check to make sure he hasn't rebuilt this. Of course, he has not yet, though, so that's not going to be a priority for me quite yet. And these horsemen are going to work on taking out that goblin lair and picking up the treasure. Dani, already having done the same, is now going to be moving across the river here, and this is going to put my forces in a little bit of trouble. I'm going to have to destroy that Malorn tree immediately, as I don't want to give Boromir any more experience than I already have. And they are actually going to run over here and find a second Malorn tree. Do I have enough troops out yet to engage? I believe I have a Mirkwood battalion on the way, but it's not here quite yet. And without wanting to lose too much more of my structures, I'm going to have to engage here. Rally call does go down. Glorfindel running forward is going to attempt to engage Boromir. There are pikemen here, so he needs to be careful. And actually, Elrond now out as well for me. He's going to go up to level... No, he's still at level 1, excuse me, but does throw down his heal ability there. Glorfindel is actually going to fall as he is in battling the pikemen. These archers taking a lot of damage here as the Gondor soldiers do get up close and personal. And with that, my troops taking a lot of damage. Elrond now in the thick of things. I can't even find him at this point. Here he is. He's only about half health. Boromir is still full health, though. And Boromir's troops are going to survive with that leadership bonus. Mirkwood battalion does come out here. Heal goes down to help Elrond stay alive. But it's just not going to be enough, as Elrond is taking way too much damage here. A group of Rivendell Lancers now reinforcing, though. And with that... a lot of these archers are going to go down, and the Mirkwood archers now taking out the remainder of the pikemen, giving Elrond free reign to sort of chase these units down with the support. Dani not able to reinforce quite fast enough. Does have a unit of Gondor soldiers attempting to attack the west side of my base to distract me, but only has a couple units here. Elrond may be overextending a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull him back here, as he does not want to engage this close to the enemy base because of how quickly reinforcements can be returned. This group of Gondor soldiers is going to get charged down by my Rivendell Lancers, though. They're going to get a decent amount of damage on this Malorn tree, but not nearly enough to take it out, so that will continue to stand. Dani now actually rebuilding the watchtower or the signal flyer, excuse me, in the lower left-hand side to help him increase that power regen ability. I, of course, have the one in the upper right-hand side. Captured that earlier with, I believe, with some Rivendell Lancers. More Mirkwood archers are now out on the field for me. I did lose all of my Lorien archers. However, these Mirkwood archers much better and will easily make up for that. Elrond now going to be leading the charge, it looks like. Is Glorfindel back on the way? I would expect so, as he was up to maybe level 2 or 3 at the end of that battle. The horsemen moving around the right side, going to be looking for any sort of infrastructure outlined along the edges of the base here. Might actually find one here. And will they actually get this in time before the army can reach there? I think Dani's going to have to cancel this. Yeah, he is going to go ahead and cancel that. Grab back a little bit of money. Is Boromir going to use this horn there? I heard him sheath his sword temporarily, but it looks like he was able to get the cancel off, so not going to be using that Horn of Gondor yet. Aragorn now out as well, a great hero for Gondor. And Aragorn is going to help lead this troop to victory, it looks like, or attempt to, as they are looking for those horsemen. Aragorn and Boromir now moving up to take control of this goblin lair in the upper right-hand side and clean out that, as well as grab any income, any gold that might be stashed away on the interior of that lair. Glorfindel now back out, is up to level 2, almost level 3. And my troops are going to be moving across the across the river here. We are going to spot the troop here. I'm going to throw down the Elven Wood here to attempt to give my units that extra leadership bonus, or the terrain bonus rather. And at this point, Dani has sort of backed himself into a corner. He is a little bit trapped here. My pikemen going to be moving up to engage Boromir. Boromir attempting to run through, but he's taking so many shots from these Mirkwood archers. Tom Bombadil is going to be the summon. The heel goes down as well as the horn. My troops in the back are stunned and in the front, but my horsemen have yet to arrive, and they are coming in now, are going to get a great hit on a ton of those archers. All the archers going down very quickly. Boromir beginning to fight through the pikemen here, as well as Elrond. Aragorn taking a lot of damage. My Mirkwood archers are going to fall in the back to Tom Bombadil and Boromir. Additional troops arriving now from Gondor to reinforce, but Aragorn is left alone in the front. He's going to grab a last level, but doesn't have time to throw down his heal ability, and is going to fall as Glorfindel there gets the final hit on him, going up to level 4 and now to 5. These troops are now going to engage the remaining troops of Gondor here. Boromir able to survive that battle up to level 8, going to be falling back a little bit here as he's taking some damage. Doesn't want to directly engage both Elrond and Boromir, so wisely falls back and starts to deal with some of the mounted troops here. Elrond now chasing down Boromir, though. The heal goes down from me, and that's going to give my heroes full health. And with that, Boromir is going to have to fall back. Enough horsemen have survived to actually run down some of these troops. Gondor is going to lose all of his reinforcements. There are a second group of Gondor soldiers making it forward, though, and Boromir with a final swing there is actually going to grab another level, up to 9 now. And with that, it looks like I'm going to have to fall back. Overall, a decently even battle. However, I think I got just a hair ahead with that one due to the amount of damage I inflicted on Aragorn, able to take him out as he is an expensive hero to rebuild and able to retain both of mine. More Mirkwoods being out on the field. I did lose a couple units of Mirkwood archers there, so that is a little bit of a loss. We'll take a quick look at some of the tech trees we are going down. As you can see, I do have the Rally Call, the Heal Spell, as well as the Elven Wood. I will, of course, be saving up for the Ents, an incredibly powerful ability that lets you take down structures very quickly. At the same time, Dani has actually gone for a secondary 10 power, the Arrow Volley, in an attempt to possibly deal with some of my archers. We'll see if he goes ahead or where he goes ahead and uses that. Couple of my horsemen here going to be intercepted. Aragorn now back out on the field, is up to level 2, so we'll be able to use that Blade Master ability. These horsemen at the same time going to be falling back, though, as they cannot get the corrects around. A second group of horsemen running around the left-hand side. I have managed to take out this Signal Fire for a second time, and Dani not bothering to rebuild it this time, as these horsemen continuing to scout the map here, looking for any sort of mines on the or any sort of farms on the outlying perimeter of Dani's base here. Dani building up a sizable army here is going to be moving forward. Tons of Gondor troops and spearmen, as well as the Gondor archers. Not the highest value army, unfortunately, for Dani, but with the amount of income he's making, it's basically all he can afford. Hasn't bothered to upgrade his archery range to get those rangers either. These horsemen going to be running through here. Might be able to get a good hit on some of these archers here, but are going to be running into the main army of Dani here, and at least that's going to give me a decent scout of what he has. As you can see, I'm splitting up my troops over here, sending the horsemen to the upper right-hand side while keeping all of my other troops along the left here, right across the riverbank. Legolas now out for me as well. I am, of course, going for Legolas because of his powerful attack, as I will be able to focus down some of the men heroes such as Boromir and Aragorn more effectively with Legolas out on the field. Now we are going to have a little bit of an engagement here. This could be the final battle here as Elrond and Glorfindel lead the charge to deal with the troops here. Aragorn going to fall instantly as Legolas uses his hawkshot on him, and Glorfindel and Elrond focus him down, not even able to use the heal there in time. Boromir does get off the horn, but at the same time the horsemen are now coming in around from the backside. The pikemen are in the front, so they will not be able to save the troops in the back here. The rally call goes down at the last second on the horsemen, and they are going to get an incredible attack here along the backside. Tom Bombadil, as someone takes out a majority of the Mirkwood archers. Legolas still doing a lot of damage from the back. Glorfindel using that Blade of Purity to help deal extra damage. Elrond going to have to retreat from the battle. He's taking way too much damage, but there's just not enough pikemen left to deal with the amount of horsemen in here. And it looks like I'm going to take this battle. Tom Bombadil actually taking a lot of damage here from the amount of forces here, and he might actually fall. Does he still have that arrow ability? No, he does not. I think that went down perhaps in the back there on my archers. At the same time, that battle is going to put me into the green range to grab that summon end ability, and I am actually going to win that battle there with a few amount of troops remaining. Going to go ahead and summon these elves and start to focus down some of the structures here. Of course, the fortress being my main concern. This end is going to be taken out immediately, though, as he runs in range of all of those pikemen. Two Ents are going to survive, though, and they will begin to throw their rocks at this fortress. This fortress taking a lot of damage. Does Dani have the amount of powers to go ahead and use a rebuild? Yes, he does. And will he actually get that off on his fortress here? Looks like he's saving it to the last second, but actually waits too long and loses his fortress before he can use it. And with that, these forces are going to take out two more of his farms. And with that, Dani looking to be in a ton of trouble. Does have a couple of units coming out here. Does have a builder remaining, but I don't believe he has enough money. Only 1,500, so he cannot rebuild his fortress at this time. And doesn't really have the farms to go ahead and make the money necessary to do that. So with that, Dani is going to have to GG out of this game. I think Legolas continuing to pick off troops from afar. More Mirkwood archers arriving, and of course Elrond and Glorfindel still alive and well here in the front of the battlefield as they lead their troops to victory. Glorfindel up to level 10, so that is going to be a good game here. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed this cast. It looks like I am going to go ahead and win this game as Dani does leave the game there. Now, we did actually play another game after this, so please stay tuned to my channel to go ahead and see the conclusion of basically what came down to a best of three. Dani convincingly taking the first game, and me having a hard-fought victory to go ahead and grab the second game. So, guys, stay tuned. Look for that third game, and I have additional games to bring to you guys, a 3v3 on the Shire, as well as, I believe, a couple of Nandahurian games, or however you pronounce it, Nandu games, if you will. So guys, stay tuned to my channel and look out for those. Thanks everyone for watching, liking, commenting. I really do appreciate it, and I will hope to see you guys in the next video. Master Cloud, signing out.